So hello students, I welcome all the first PU students. Last month I had taken classes for you, Unit 1 to Unit 4 and also grammar. I am Mr. Anthony Swami. This month Sister Janet is taking your classes and I am taking only one unit, that is the poem If I Was a Tree. In your course book, Unit 7, the poem is If I Was a Tree, written by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy. All of you please take out the book if you have and follow the poem. Just wait. So if I was a tree, ನಾನು ಮರವಾಗಿದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ. In fact, grammatically, if I were a tree, this is a correct grammar. That means supposition. If I were a tree. But what happens, poets have the liberty, poetic liberty to use anything. They can bypass the grammar. So it is if I was a tree. And in one more thing, it is a translation. The poem was written by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy and it has been in Kannada and it has been translated by Rowena Hill, an English woman. So there is slightly the difference in that. Anyway, the poem If I Was a Tree is written in Kannada originally by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy, a well-known Kannada poet from Mudnakudu village in Chamarajanagar district. His works have been widely translated into many Indian languages. This poem has been translated into English by Rowena Hill, who was born in England and studied in New Zealand, Italy and the University of Mysore, where he learned Kannada, and he took a lot of interest and translated some of Kannada's best poems into English and Spanish. So this is the introduction about the poets. So Kannada poet Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy, translated by English woman, English lady, that is Rowena Hill. Now we'll give a short summary, then I'll go to the text and then we will divide into 2 units, 2 days, 2 videos. The first video will cover your summary and your text of the poem. Second video will again cover the text as well as the comprehension. There is a small pre-reading activity. Do you think that being a tree is more convenient than being a human being? You can just discuss. Suppose you are asked, given an option, whether you want to become a tree or a human being. And definitely we will say, I want to be a human being. But the poet has different concept. Here, the concept of caste and defilement is brought about in the poem. That is, the tree is free from all these caste distinctions, caste discrimination, defilement and all that. And human society is full of casteism, defilement, and so the poet prefers, so rather the speaker in the poem prefers to be a tree instead of being a human being. The poem brings out the social theme of untouchability prevalent in various parts of India. For example, a tree doesn't have caste discrimination, just as human beings. The title, as I told you, If I Was a Tree, is a bit grammatically wrong, but since it is a supposition, it should have been If I Were a Tree. As you know, poets have poetic liberty and they have the freedom to write in their own style. The speaker in the poem wants to be a tree because trees are not treated as objects of defilement. The bird, before building its nest, does not ask the tree what caste the tree is. It simply starts building its nest. When sunlight falls on the tree, the shadow of the tree would not be defiled. The tree has close friendship with a cool breeze and the leaves, and the friendship is quite sweet. Then when rain comes, the raindrops would not fear and would not run away, taking the tree for a dog eater. Dog eater means a person of low caste. Then when the tree grows and started branching out from the roots, the Mother Earth would not flee shouting for a bath. The Mother Earth will not feel that I have been defiled because of the tree. And so the Mother Earth would not run away shouting for a bath, to take bath, to be cleansed. Then the sacred cow would scrape her body on the bark of the tree. Whenever it got itching, it would come and scrape the body. And when the sacred cow scrapes her body, the 300,000 gods sheltering inside the cow would touch the tree. See, this is the concept of Hinduism, religion, that the cow is a sacred animal, and there are 300,000 gods inside her. And when the cow gets itching, it comes near the tree and starts scraping her body against the bark of the tree. And then the 300,000 gods sheltering inside would touch her. Then finally, the tree is hacked into pieces of dry wood, burning and put into the holy fire. For example, Homa irbodu, some religious function irbodu. Then the tree is cut, dry pieces of wood are put into the holy fire, and when it starts burning, the speaker says that I might be made pure. That means I would become pure because the dry wood is pure. And then sometimes the tree is cut and made into a bier. Bier means chata, where the dead body is carried. Becomes a bier for a sinless body, for a holy man, for a holy person. That tree is sometimes finally cut and made into a bier for a sinless body. And this sinless body is carried on the shoulders of 4 good men. See, 4 people are required to carry the body, because 4, there are 2 ends, 2 this side and 2 that side. So 4 people are required, and they are all holy men, good men. The sinless body is being carried on the shoulders of 4 good men. So this is at the end, these are the uses of the tree, how the tree becomes good or used in holy ways to help some pure or holy or sinless people. See, the poem is quite simple. It is not that difficult, and once you read, you will definitely understand. Even then, I'll just come again and start revising the text again once more. So the poem is If I Was a Tree, written by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy. The poem If I Was a Tree, written in Kannada by the Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy, a well-known Kannada poet hailing from Mudnakudu village in Chamarajnagar district of Karnataka. This is his origin, where he was born. Birthplace is Chamarajnagara, village is Mudnakudu. And that is why many people are called by the name of the place where they are born. See, for example, many writers, they have the name. Even Kuvempu has got, Kuvempu is a pen name. His original name, if you know, there his place is added. We say some place, name of the place, Jagluru, Nagendrappa. We like that we call. So similarly, here Mudnakudu is the village where he was born, and that is why we add Mudnakudu along with his name, Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy. Then, as you know, the poet has a social evil concept in his mind, and he wants to bring it out in a form of it's a comparison. That means there is in the now human society, evil of the casteism is present. Low caste, high caste. As you know, the low caste people are not allowed to drink water from the pond where high caste people are coming and going. And that untouchability, they don't allow them to come into their house. So this is still present. In order to highlight that and eradicate this concept of casteism, Chinnaswamy brings out this poem. The concept of defilement and purification is brought out in this poem. And the poem has been translated into English, but Rowena Hill, she was born in England and studied in New Zealand, Italy, and also the University of Mysore, where he learned Kannada to such an extent that she could translate Kannada into foreign languages like English and Spanish. And many of the best known Kannada works are translated into Spanish and English. Short summary. The poem brings out the social theme of untouchability prevalent in our society in various parts of India. A tree does not have any discrimination, just like a human beings. The title, as I told you, if I was a tree, it is a supposition. If I was a tree, then as I told you, the poets have the liberty to write in their own style. The speaker in the poem, example, they ask you, what does the speaker feel? Not the poet. Sometimes we say the poet, sometimes we say the speaker in the poem. The speaker in the poem wants to be a tree because trees are not treated as objects of defilement. The bird, when it wants to build a nest, does not ask the tree what caste you are. It goes on and builds its nest. When sunlight falls on the tree doesn't get defiled, and the shadow would not feel defiled. Then the tree has good friendship with the cool breeze and the leaves. The cool breeze, cold wind, beautiful wind, and also the leaves. And that friendship is quite sweet. Then when the rain comes, the raindrops would not turn back, taking the tree for a dog eater. A dog eater means a person of low caste. When the tree grows and the branches become strong and the roots grow deep, Mother Earth would not run away, shouting for a bath. Then the sacred cow, when it feels itching, starts scratching her body against the bark of a tree. And the 300,000 gods who are inside the cow also touch the tree and making the tree sacred. Now, at the end, sometimes what happens, the tree is cut, made into dry pieces of wood, and then put into the holy fire for some religious functions or marriages or whatever it may be. It's a holy fire. And sometimes the tree is cut and made into a bier. Bier means chata, for a sinless body, for a holy man. And the holy man is also carried on the shoulders of 4 good men. So this is the poem. Now, I'll again come back to the textual part of it. We'll just go line by line. If I was a tree, if I, here I means the speaker. If I was a tree, the bird wouldn't ask me before it built its nest what caste I am. If I was a tree, when the bird wants to come and build a nest, first it will not come and ask me what caste I am. In our society, if somebody comes newly, they just introduce themselves, then they ask, hey, what caste he is. It is to such an extent, even if he is a Christian or he is a Muslim or a Hindu, then they go for subcaste. What is the subcaste? This is still existing in our society. So the poet wants to highlight that. When sunlight falls on the tree, when the sunlight embraced me, my shadow wouldn't feel defiled. The shadow will not become impure. It will not be defiled. Then, my friendship. Whose friendship? The tree's friendship. The tree is the speaker here. With the cool breeze and the leaves would be sweet. Here is personified. The tree is the speaker here. So, the friendship along with the cold breeze and the leaves will be always happy and sweet. And when rain comes, the raindrops would not turn back, taking me for a dog eater. The raindrops would not run away, would not feel that I am defiled. They will not run away thinking that the tree is a dog eater of low caste. They will not differentiate. Then when I branch out, I means the tree, when it starts growing strong, and then the roots go deep inside and the branches come out and spread over the earth, Mother Earth wouldn't flee shouting for a bath. Flee means run away, shouting for a bath. Here Mother Earth is personified. I hope you have studied in your high schools what are different parts of speech: simile, metaphor and personification. These three definitely you know. Personification means a lifeless object is given life. For example, sun. We say sun god and we say he. Here personified. Moon. So again is personified. We say she. Earth. It is personified as feminine. That is why Mother Earth. Nobody calls Father Earth. You might have heard. It is Mother Earth. Mother Earth wouldn't flee shouting for a bath. That means when the tree grows firm, the roots go deep into the earth and the branches grow large, the Mother Earth would not think that, oh, I am defiled because of the tree. And the Mother Earth would not run away, flee for a bath. Next, about a cow, the sacred cow. As you know, in Hindu system, the cow is considered sacred. The sacred cow would scrape her body on my bark. So whenever the cow feels itching, it will start scraping her body against the bark of the tree. Whenever it was itching, it used to come and scrape the body. And in such cases, the 300,000 gods sheltering inside her would also touch her. The 300,000 gods sheltering inside the tree, inside the cow, will also touch the tree. That means the tree becomes again pure by the sacred cow. The gods inside are touching the bark of the tree and the tree becomes purified or holy. And at the end what happens? Who knows at the end? Hacked into pieces of dry wood, the tree is cut and made into pieces and it is dried up and kept ready for some auspicious function. So when the function starts, they make a fire, holy fire, Homa, and then they put that pieces there. In that means the tree has become purified. And then sometimes the tree is cut for a buyer, for a sinless man, sinless body, some important person, holy person has died and he has to be carried on the chata, that is on the bier. And nowadays we have different methods of carrying. We even sometimes carry in a van and all that. But the normal system is the body is carried on a bier. That means they make a bier, two long rods, and then put crossbars, and then so that it can be carried by 4 people. And the tree is used for this. The tree is cut and made into a bier for a sinless body, for a good man, for a good cause. And again it is being purified. And the bier is carried by on the shoulders of 4 good men. It is not carried by ordinary people. It is carried by 4 good men. So with this I have spoken about the poet, the translator, and the summary, and also the text of the poem. Since the poem is quite small, so it is not a big video, it will be for a short time duration only, but I hope you have understood. And if there is anything, any doubts, you can contact us either through the college or directly. We can clarify your doubts. As you know, every Friday they have set up the Zoom meeting in which students can directly contact and ask their doubts, their clarifications. And for English, I hope you all knowing, it is on Friday, that is tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. This is a time given for the students to come on and directly clarify the doubts. The lecturers will be there. Of course, at present we have 2 lecturers, myself and Sister Janet. So both of us will try to clarify. I am taking second PU portion, textbook as well as in grammar. In first PU, just I wanted 1 unit. That is, this unit I have taken. I will be continuing tomorrow, and then I will go back to second year classes. So rest remaining will be done by Sister Janet, who has come from Mangalore. One more thing, if you have any difficulty in understanding, sometimes you may be from Kannada medium, you may find it difficult, you can very well clarify put up your problems either to the principal or the office or directly to us, so that we can clarify, we can help you out. Because as you all know, the direct classes, face-to-face classes, it is not nearby. It may take some more time. So most of the syllabus we have to do on online only, either through screen recorder like this or board work. Grammar, sometimes we go for board. Last month, you remember, I took all the grammar on the board, articles, prepositions, tenses and all that, and question framing, everything. But this time sister is sending something like PowerPoint program, something like that, PTP and all that. Anyway, if you have any difficulty, if you have any problems, please contact us. So with this, I am closing today's unit, the video. It's a short one, the poem If I Was a Tree, written by Mudnakudu Chinnaswamy and translated into English by Rowena Hill. It's a very simple poem. I hope you have understood. The next week class, again I'll just revise and then go for the comprehension questions. Comprehensions means question and answers, exam oriented teaching, so that you'll be able to answer well. And as you know, every video we are uploading 10 questions on the Google. So 10 questions will be objective type, A, B answers, and you have to answer them. I hope you are doing. And the marks are being recorded here in the college. So when you come, so we will ask you, don't just neglect. Some students don't at all bother. No, you listen to the video, then you see the Google form. There will be 10 questions, answer them, and automatically your marks will be recorded this side. Okay then, thank you.